My name is Tiffany Kelly and I am co-founder of RoundTable Global. I've got 25 years plus experience of working in learning and development.
My name's Dennis Murphy. I'm the co-founder of RoundTable Global. I've been a high-performance coach for the last 15 years.
So RoundTable Global is a global management consultancy and training company that works with organisations to create real culture change. We specialise in leadership and empowerment, and we work with any size organisation, really helping them to achieve their objectives for long-term success. So we started RoundTable Global 9 years ago. I had been working for another organisation for 10 years in the same space, and we'd worked together on a project where we'd co-created something that was really different and was really unique, that was about the empowerment of women. And it was about bringing together creativity, imagination, movement, play, and doing something that was really different, that it was connecting emotionally with the people that were going through our program. And it really inspired us, and we really felt like there was a space in the marketplace to do something unique. And with Dennis coming in and bringing his philosophies around mindset change and getting people to really think in a different way, we combined those two different skill sets and those passions to create RoundTable.
When I first met Tiffany, what she'd already been doing with the program that she'd been developing with her previous company was recognizing that the creative and the corporate world needed to come together.
Yeah.
What I'd been doing previously was different to what the market, the leadership world had come across before. So then that combination of the creatives, the corporate world, and everything that Tiffany had brought in terms of her management consultancy background and creativity was just a beautiful, unique offering that the corporate world, the leadership program world hadn't seen before.
So the name RoundTable came from the concept that everybody that's part of our organisation has a voice and is equal. There's no hierarchy. We did some really crazy stuff in the first year where we didn't really have budget for it. We'd only just started to get clients coming in, and we travelled around the world and we created summits where we were going into the Japanese parliamentary building, the House of Commons, working with 10-year-olds, with heads of states, with entrepreneurs, with family members, and getting them all around the table and saying, look, this is what we think needs to happen to make change happen in the world. And we worked with those different generations in all of these different countries, and what we came up with was 3 global goals, which is about empowering everybody, educational innovation, and environmental rejuvenation. And they really are the strands that underpin everything that we do. And for us, they were all about what are the things that we need to focus on, both through our projects, but also the work that we do with young people to really make change happen. So for us, educational innovation, it's about reimagining education. So if you think about traditional education, how it is right now, it doesn't work for everybody. It's the same as training and development. You know, people don't want to sit in a classroom and be talked at with loads of PowerPoint slides. It's the same with young people. You know, we've got to do things differently. We've got to ignite their curiosity, ignite their imaginations, get them to connect emotionally with things so that they feel like they have ownership for it. And then empowering everybody. So for us, this isn't just about gender and inclusivity. It's making sure that everybody understands that they are a unique individual human being, and they have what they have that's special, that they can contribute to anything that they're doing. And then we've got environmental rejuvenation. So both Dennis and I and the whole team are really passionate about the planet. So we need to make sure that we go beyond sustainability to restore and rejuvenate. So we're constantly bringing elements of nature and sustainability into the work that we're doing. So we've got 3 flagship programs for the organisation. We've got Symbiotic Leader, which is for culture change, and it's for the most senior people in the organisation that are driving culture change, but also for teams of leaders that need to work more symbiotically together. So we've designed it really to be at the top of the organisation, to create leaders that really understand how to make change happen and how to really engage with and empower their teams and the whole organisation behind the work that they're doing. We've got the Shine programme, which is specifically focused on women at all levels, so we can run it at entry, management, director level. It's mostly been at director level, or women that are stepping into leadership roles, and that's really focused on helping them to unpack any fears that they have, unlock their potential, step into their power, and really feel motivated and supported to step into quite masculine environments from a leadership perspective. Then we've got Empower. So Empower is either for entry-level people, young professionals, but it's also an amazing program that we've we've tweaked slightly to use with teams. So if you really want to get your teams galvanized, if you want to empower them, if you want to get them working to their highest potential, then Empower is a really amazing program that you can run for that.
When we were creating these, as Tiffany said, we'd both spent so much time in nature over the years. And what we also had done without knowing it is that we not only spent time in nature, but we sat in nature and observed nature. Certain things come to you and you start to realize that maybe an organization is very much like an organism. It's very much like an ecosystem. And then you can start really learning from how nature flourishes and then apply that to the leadership world, to how an organization could also flourish at the same time.
So Shine is really for female leaders, and it's a very special program. It's really close to my heart. We have very small cohorts of women who are brought together in a very, very safe but also intensive way, where they have the ability to really disclose the truth about what's going on for them and how they feel about themselves, and to be really honest about what they're fearful of and what they need to do to really step into their power and to become, you know, the best versions of themselves. And I absolutely love it because it's amazing. I might be working with different people, different women from all around the world. They open up and they find themselves, you know, emotional, sharing tears, hugging each other. And the program wasn't built for that purpose, but it's just about, it's almost, nobody asks them if they're actually okay in their real organizations. And in that moment when you say, no, really, how are you feeling? What's going on for you? It's almost like the body relaxes and the truth comes out, and all of these things come up that we can then work with and address.
My name is Tanith Harding and I'm a lead facilitator and director of international development for RoundTable Global. I lead facilitate on all of the programs that we deliver. And I've been working with the organisation for 8 years now. The reason that I joined RoundTable was because I went on a Shine journey myself, Shine being our flagship programme that is truly life-changing. From the moment I went on Shine, I went back into my family, my community, into my business life, and every single thing had changed because I'd been on this amazing discovery of self-leadership and understanding that owning responsibility for my being and my life would be a game changer for both myself and everyone.
We then realized that there was a space in the market for working with the CEOs and for the C-suite. And that's why when we came up with the leadership program called Symbiotic Leader. And that was really, really educating that level of an organization that maybe you need to start thinking about your organization being an organism, and how you impact every area, every decision, every thought that you are having has that ripple effect throughout the organization. And even if we understand that conceptually, to go through a whole process, to go through a training program where you see how you're impacting your teams in ways that you wouldn't appreciate before the program, is mind-blowing for people.
We've also been using it in a really amazing, transformational way for culture change in organizations. So working with huge organizations, some of the organizations are the biggest in their country, where they're going through a massive transformation, where there's a lot of fear, and we're helping them to utilize the skill set and the tools from Symbiotic Leader to come together as one organism and to really galvanize them around owning the culture change and the new vision and values. And this is about giving every single person ownership for the change that's happening and helping them to understand that their voice is important.
So even though we have these 3 flagship programs and we offer bespoke services obviously to our clients as well, there is a red thread that runs through all of the programs that we offer, and it's a philosophy that's come about because, again, we've spent so much time in nature. There is a reason why the ecosystem can flourish out of control, mostly because there isn't the blame element that's in nature, and nature isn't looking to facilitate any long-term control in its environment because it wouldn't work. And so organizations are in the same situation where you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in your organization. You can have the best 1 week, 1 month, 5-year plan, but of course we know things don't always go to plan. And so then it's based on your response.
So we've created something that we call dynamic and intuitive facilitation. So we don't see ourselves as teachers. We're not standing at the front of a classroom telling people, you should think this, you should behave in this certain way. What we're doing instead is we're offering a different way of thinking and a different way of behaving. We're offering a mindset change, but we're doing it in such a way that we're constantly intuiting what the group or the organisation needs, which means that we don't give handouts, we don't have PowerPoints. We will switch and change when we're listening to what the people that we're working with need, but constantly it's about thinking about what they need and for us being able to be like nature and to flex and change with it. And what that means is that we never ever deliver one thing in the same way, which keeps it fresh for us and it keeps it fresh for other people. We're not just focused on you in terms of your professional life, we're talking about the holistic part of you, which includes your personal life. We get people sharing stories about their children, about their wives, their husbands, their sisters, their mothers, etc.
I'll just share an example that happened very recently. And we were running a change program for one of the large oil and gas companies in the Middle East. And there was 25 people in the room, including some royal family members. And they were very seasoned leaders. And they've gone through every leadership program you can imagine. And we were already told that maybe they weren't as excited to be there as we would have liked them to be. But within a very short period of time, they started to realize that they were going through a different type of experience. And by the end of day one of the group CEOs came up to us and he was very emotional and he couldn't wait to tell us that his chronic back pain of 2.5 years had completely disappeared. And he was emotional because then he was also saying just how relaxed he felt in a way that you don't normally expect from a leadership program.
So thinking about the future for RoundTable Global, we want to be in as many places as we possibly can. We know this transformation really works. We know that once people go through the mindset change that we take them through on all of our programs, they're more happier, they're healthier.
We can see that the home and the office is the same. If you think about it, there is no difference in terms of you're still taking yourself from one environment to the other. On our programs, people feed back and say, it's been like I've been on a healing journey.
Yeah.
And that's why it can be so impactful, because they're not learning how to control their thoughts, how to control their minds. It's something completely different.
Another thing that I think is really important to share, which is unique about RoundTable as far as I know, is that from the very beginning we decided that we were going to be philanthropic. So even before we made any profit, and probably even before Dennis and I took any money from the organisation at all, we were volunteering our time, we were getting involved in projects and initiatives that we felt really delivered the 3 global goals that we've talked about. So for example, we've been sponsors and owners really of the Global Youth Awards since 2012, and every single year we've put a huge amount of our profits into the Global Youth Awards to help to support the young people and the talent that's coming through from 70 plus countries. And I think that's really, really important to demonstrate that we genuinely care, and we also offer to all of those young people our training for free. So we coach, we mentor, they get access to a Shine Masterclass that we've created, and also our team works as part of legacy projects in the Global Youth Awards.
We realise that's a really bold claim to be able to say you're offering something new to the market, especially in leadership and self-development.
We always spend some time up front really doing that deep dive into what the client is trying to achieve with the programme, and then also, where we can, setting objectives with the participants so that we can revisit those objectives afterwards, check in and see if they've met everything that they want to, and more often than not they overachieve and exceed expectations. In terms of duration, again, we can be really, really flexible. One thing that we do say is that as much as possible, we need 2 days and 1 night, and that's because the people that go through day 1 of the programme, they then have an opportunity to go back into their real life, whether it's going home, to the office, meeting friends and family. They also get to go to sleep, which is an important part of the learning process, is allowing your subconscious to give you information, to heal, to let the learning land. So when they come back in the morning, they can ask us questions, they can talk about things that they've experienced, they're already noticing the differences. So rather than giving them handouts and saying, okay, take that away with you, you've now been given the tools, they already know how to start applying it. They're speaking differently, they're communicating differently, and they're working differently with their colleagues. And those stories on day 2 inspire them to realise that actually change can happen really quickly. It's just about how you're thinking and how you're behaving.
We also realised that because we're offering something new, we often say you're learning a new skill, and to get better at any skill, because it's a new mindset, you need more regular exposure to it. It's an ongoing process. And so we recently worked with a CEO of a large organization with his C-suite, and we had our initial one day with the whole team, but then we made sure that we had 4 group sessions over the months that came, and then followed that up with another whole day of in-person. So it's really that understanding that we will tailor the programs to your individual needs. But where we want to go in the future is to offer that more consistent presence, so that the learnings get more embedded into the teams in the organization.